Well, good morning, everyone. It is RJ, and we're in the back of our 96 Dodge Maxi. It is March 20th, episode 79. And here's your weather. Currently in Columbus, it's 68 degrees. Humidity is 86%, 30% chance of rain today, and I think we're at the high today because they're saying about 58 degrees as we go on through the day. It's going to be a little windy, it's going to be a little wet. Lord, we got a good one coming, or they messed up on the report. I have no earthly idea. This morning weather report's brought to you by my coffee. Oh, Lord, it's hot. It is so good. Welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. Oh, yeah, it's getting hot. It's getting hot because I slept last night with the windows open. I don't know why, but I still woke up at 2:26 this morning. I have no earthly idea. No earthly. I got to get another mattress. I've got my shoulder. I've got this catch. I need another mattress. It's worn out. I will see if I can swing that this weekend. I've got some other unmentionable expenses that are coming up, and I really want to get those taken care of. So I may be putting it off a little bit. I don't know. It's Thursday, folks. It should be a heck of a day. It's morning. It's about 5:20 in the morning. I've already see a shadow of the trees, so the sun's coming up. Hey, we're going to go into a new little segment here. What's for dinner? Well, last night we had hot dogs. And I had a handful of gummy worms. I know it's not healthy. But they were beef hot dogs and they were Oscar Mayer. So, yeah, I'm going to start talking about what I had for dinner. Those on our interest change. For example, I went from chasing trains and doing photography to building a train set to coaching baseball. I've done everything I wanted to do because I was allowed to. Let's talk a little bit about a subject that I usually don't venture into. And that is the loneliness of living in a van. And there's really not a term that's better than loneliness, because I'm not lonely. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. So the misconception of that if you're all by yourself, you gotta be lonely, that's wrong. Now, mind you, there are most out there that don't look at it that way, and they're like, oh, woe's with me, I can't stand it by myself. I pretty much stayed to myself for the last 5 years since my stroke. I just let it go. I just go with the flow, you know. So how do you handle it in a van? How do you date in a van? Well, there's a couple options. We're in modern day. You can do a dating app. Yeah, you'll pick up a bunch of trolls. You'll probably end up meeting or coming in contact with people that are mean, ruthless, and just out to have a good time at your expense. And you can pick up on those as long as you don't get too involved. It's what I've found is there's 3 types of mates you can come across, or that I've come across. Number 1, you got the one that immediately and it hits off and it's all about those don't last very long, and you feel empty. Though it's fun, you feel empty. And then there's those ones that it never gets off the ground. You do a few texts, and then with a few texts, they ghost. Then you just got to delete them. Don't go dwelling on it. It's a game. Make it a game. Make it a game on your end to where, if it's going to be like that, so you need to be that way. And then you get those that start a conversation, and then shortly after that conversation, with a day or two, you got their number. That's a start. It could also be an end. So you can play the game, make the call, and then you got to figure out, is they playing the game, or are they serious? But anyway, you get the phone number, and then all of a sudden, they do not want they ghost you again. So you delete the number. I'm going to tell you, it's going to take a while, and sometimes it can be frustrating. To locate somebody that's genuine, that backs up what they say. And you got to turn over a lot of frogs, so to speak. Eventually, and it's going to be a long journey for you, maybe, you might come up with one. Out of all those hundreds, you might come up with one. And then you start looking at whether they reciprocate what's going on. If you're not getting any reciprocating vibes, my advice is just to move on. Because let's face it, you don't want to waste your time. Life is too short. I had this one relationship a couple years ago, and out of the middle of nowhere, she wrote me a Dear John text, and I read it, and I'm like, okay. Text her back, okay. If that's what you want, good luck, have a good life. And I thought long and hard, and there was communication between when that was and, let's say, current times or prior current times. But at some point, you got to evaluate yourself. And You just got to make a choice not to associate or to communicate, be a good term, because sometimes they keep reaching out because they know they messed up. Especially if you got qualities that they find attractive or that they find good or they're not finding anywhere else. And that's kind of hard to do after a relationship. But one thing I found out, I can't go backwards. So sooner or later, with all the millions and billions of people in the world, you will come across that one. And when it does, and you vet them like they're supposed to be, and everything looks good, you turn off your dating app. And you give it a go. And then you see what happens from there, and the rest is just based on what you feel. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to do that, and you just got to look at it as a game to a point. Don't play games, but play the game. You know. And don't hold back. Don't hold back what you actually feel, because let's face it, we live in a van. We live in a van, and that poses its own problems. But it also poses some interesting little tidbits. Number one, you're used to traveling. Number two, you can make your front yard anywhere. And every town's got a Walmart. But seriously, if you're not getting it reciprocated, you just stop it. You stop it. And look, I'm not one to take love advice from, really. You know, I was married and I've been divorced for quite some time. And I've been through whatever I've been through in my earlier years, which most of those memories are shot out because of a stroke. But if somebody wants to make time for you and they're consistent and they have a pattern, that might be your focus. Maybe. Me personally, I like my life simple. I'm not going to add complications to it. And I'm not going to complicate my life. It's real good. It's real good. Yeah. So being on the road ain't lonely. I'm alone. Finding a ride or die is probably everybody's goal to a degree. And who am I fooling? You know, I live alone. I put on this persona. But, yeah, in the end, we're human. And we all want the need to be wanted. I don't regret anything I ever went through in life. I don't regret it at all. And yeah, even I want to be wanted, but I want to be wanted in the right way. I don't want to be a second choice. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you don't have to be rude about it. You just got to be sincere. If it's not going to work out. or you get little red flags or any of those things. But yeah, I guess I ran too long this morning. I'd probably cut it down to about 15 minutes. Maybe we'll pick this up some other time. Depends how many views I get. But yeah, I'm RJ. This is back in my 96 Dodge Maxi. I work at a car dealership full time. And you need to call your mom. You really do. Y'all have a great day. Welcome back to episode 78 or 79. It's 78 or 79. It is March 20th, Friday. No, it's not Friday, it's Thursday. Thursday, March 20th is today. And I believe it's episode 79 or 78. We'll find out when I post it, because I'll check back, because I had it in my head, but it's gone now. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for coming by. Bye now.